Having had 9 cars simultaneously at one point, I have some authority on the subject of cars as an entrepreneur. Let's get right into it. You should not be owning a car. 80% of you who are looking at this video, trying to figure out how can I get my financial freedom, don't own a car. 20% of you, I guess you need it for your job or something like that. But even then, you should be asking me, should I really be needing a car at this point in time? The answer is probably not. So, why did I buy cars in the first place? Well, one, I bought cars in order for me to have a family. Okay, I had a family, so I needed a car. So that's one. Another time for another video. Maybe you shouldn't start a family right now because then you'll need a car, right? So, okay, let's put that for another time. But second of all, I wanted to drive Uber. I drove Uber for several years, and it caused me to need a car for that, a better car than just a normal car. And also, it caused me to have a lot of expenses, unexpected expenses. It caused me to also feel as though my income was higher than it actually was because I wasn't deducting all of the fees and the gas and the insurance and the wear and tear on the car, and the throw up in the car and all the other things that would need me to fix the car and do things for the car, clean the car, like all of the expenses that were part of it, in addition to my time, caused me to actually not make as much as I thought that I would do driving Uber as I actually did. Okay, so I thought my salary was higher than it actually was, and that was a problem because there's a lot of hidden expenses when it comes to cars. Now, this is not just Uber, because I also did deliveries. At some point, when you do deliveries, it's the exact same thing. You are using the car, wear and tear, gas, all the time and fixes, and then you have to repair the car. You don't know how to repair the car. You take it to the garage. You have to wait for the garage. You have to rent a car in order for you to give it over to the garage. And there's so many ifs and buts and situations that causes you to be like, well, I have to do that because that is the situation that I'm in, and so I just got to do what you got to do. If you didn't have a car, you wouldn't be in that situation. So at some point, I got this idea after driving Uber and speaking to a dude who was starting a Turo company. It's not called Turo in Norway, it's called Neighbor Car at that time. And so I started with the van. I bought a van and I started renting it out and started making money. Now, this making money project, it also had hidden expenses in disguise because the government wanted me to pay 25% of my revenue from the business in taxes, in addition to the taxes that I paid on my personal income. And that was a hidden tax that I, at that time, didn't know about. If you're starting out in a car business of some sort, you're probably going to have some form of taxes that you didn't know about in terms of fees and issues that will cause you to not make as much money as you thought you did. Okay? Again, hidden expense when you've got a car company. And I did. And I bought a second car, I bought a third car, I bought a fourth car, I bought a fifth car, and a sixth car at some point. And then I had 3 cars, one personal, one that I rented out to someone else, and one, unnecessarily getting into massive debt at the time. And this is another thing that people go into. They don't buy a bad car. You need an okay car, right? And so as a result, you need a better than what you can afford car right now. So you end up going into debt, and you can do that easily because the car company that is selling you the car have all these amazing deals where you have very low interest rate on a loan from a bank. And so you buy the car thinking that, well, I can actually pay this easily. It's, just a few $100 a month. But that is not the only expense. You not only did you get that loan, but you probably also got some extra form of insurance from that car company that you bought it from. And it just adds on extra expenses on top of everything else. You also have to pay insurance, and it's illegal to drive without insurance. Oh Lord, do you see the problem with cars? The goal is for you to limit your expenses and increase your income. When you are doing the car thing, you are increasing your expenses, and it probably is stealing away time from you that you could have used making money, either from a local job or from online. So how do you do it if you absolutely need a car because your job requires it? Does it? Does it actually? Well, first of all, can you take public transport to work? And if that's a no, then do you need to take public transport or any form of transportation to work at all? Have you considered if there are jobs in your near vicinity that are there so that you can walk to work or bike to work, or put yourself in a situation where you don't need something that costs money to drive or to transport yourself to a specific place? What I always teach people, and if you've been around my channel, you understand that, it's actually good to have a low-paying job in the very beginning of your career trying to start your business. And the reason why is because you need the pain of desiring to get out of this low-paying job that causes you to have low expenses. You can't have high expenses when you have a low income, right? And so you have low income at work, and then you have low expenses because you have to, and then you start your business online, which increases your income, and you keep your expenses low. So there's a massive benefit to having a low income from a job in the beginning of your career. And you have a second low income job, and then the third low income job, and the business is designed to replace all of these and for you to keep your expenses at that low place that you had it. The cool part about low income jobs is that you can get that done in your vicinity. The vast majority of houses worldwide have places of employment within 5 minutes to 10 minutes to maximum 15 minutes of walking distance of your vicinity. And why aren't you making use of that? Well, it's because I want a higher paying job. Well, now that you understand the concept that I teach on my channel, you don't need that high paying job. You can have a low income job and put yourself in a situation where you don't need a car. A car is another business. Just like a girlfriend is another business. You want to have as few businesses as possible in the beginning. Yes, I recognize that 3 low income jobs are each their own business in many ways, and then you've got family, friends, and then you've got your business. But the business is supposed to replace the job income. Like, the jobs are businesses, yes, but they're businesses that you would prefer if you didn't have them. Does that make sense? Like, family and friends, you kind of want them around. Girlfriend, you kind of want around. Car, you kind of want to keep. Like, jobs are the only things that you want to get rid of. Like, I really want to get rid of them, right? So that's why you want a lot of them. Because the more low-paying jobs you have, the faster you want to get rid of them, right? Because they're a nuisance. They're like yapping, oh, I'm late, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and they're complaining all the time, and they have a lot of negative people. You want to get rid of it. So how do you get rid of it? By having low expenses and increasing your income through a business that replaces one of the jobs. And then you keep your expenses at that low place, and then you increase your income again by investing more time in your business, and now you get rid of the second job, and then the third job. And you did this all without needing a car. So that's kind of what I want to wrap around this entire video is DM me and ask me if you need a car and if it's wise for you to have a car. I will tell you right now that you should not have a car. You have no idea how many of my clients have had so many problems just in this last week with their cars, right? One of them having, there's so many situations, and I feel bad for the guys that actually do have cars. I literally, for 5.5 years now, I have not had a car, and I feel fantastic. I didn't need it. Well, why? Because I work online. If I want to take the bus somewhere, if I want to drive a taxi somewhere, if I want to do something, I can get around. I don't need a car for that, and neither do you. So put yourself in a situation where you erase that from your state of being and live extremely simply. That's what I want for you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys in the next one.